Washington Post came out with their results.
Yeah, no laughing matter here. It's very serious stuff. Very depressing for a newspaper industry.
Now, the reason why the results were down was largely because of the education division, the Stanley Kaplan business, which has not been doing well, all sorts of federal-related things. I want to talk about the newspaper results first, because as a former newspaper man yourself, I mean, you write for Marketwatch right now. I don't think I could call you still a newspaper man, but you do work for a Dow Jones property. The thing that I found most disturbing was the fact that they had a revenue drop on their online business. So Slate and the Post had a 4% drop, 3.9% drop in terms of their online business. Is that going on across the newspaper world?
You wouldn't think so. I mean, this is what they trumpet. This is what all the CEOs trumpet about, the online savior. So when it goes down 4%, as you said, it's a very distressing sign.
So what was the takeaway from that newspaper industry in general is not going to find its savior or its salvation in online, or is this specific to the Washington Post?
It's tough to say, being only the first 2 months of the year, but I think the Washington Post is in more trouble than a lot of companies are in terms of the potential for, because you said Kaplan, their savior, is in big trouble.
Right. And the problem for something like Washington Post, I was talking to somebody downstairs about this, and it's you know, if you look at sort of who they compete with, in particular Politico down in Washington. Politico doesn't have the cost base. It doesn't have a lot of the legacy of the print business. So they can make the digital business work for them at a much lower price or cost basis. Washington Post doesn't have that luxury, do they?
No question about it. It's really past journalism and present journalism. Politico does it much cheaper, and some say as well, perhaps maybe not, but some say as well or good enough. And Politico has taken the place in the eyes of a lot of people of the Washington Post.
Does that depress you, the future of the newspaper industry?
Yeah, sure it does. I mean, you want it to be strong because Washington Post is one of our pillars of journalism, and if it's having financial problems, then the coverage will suffer too.
I got to run.